It is Return of the Exes on Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce, episode 3 in season 5. Frump is back. Babs has been sleeping with her ex, and Colette's gonna come and take yo man. Get ready, because we're breaking it down next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
1, don't pick up the phone. You know he's only calling because he's drunk and alone. 2, don't let him in. You have to kick him out again. 3, don't be his friend.
You know you're gonna wake up in his bed in the morning. You ain't getting over him. Barbara needs to take some notes right now, because she learned a very hard lesson. Hi guys, I'm Zack Peters, and before we dive into it, let's introduce ourselves, starting with my left.
Hey guys, I'm Shamarri Hartzog.
Hi Shamarri.
Hey everyone, I'm Mina Wahab.
Hey guys, Chelsea Stark-Jones.
Guys, there was so much that happened this week.
Yeah.
Everybody's exes came creeping back in and was screwing with their new relationships. I feel like everybody felt like they were moving on and they were ready to kind of move on with their lives. And it's nope, Frump's back and he's gonna twist Joe up. What were your initial thoughts, Shamarri?
Well, first and foremost, I'm really, excited for Delia, with her IVF treatments. I think that's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to how that goes. And her little mystery issue with Tony. With Tony. I thought that was really cute too.
Yes, I love that.
I was really shocked with Barb's too. I didn't really expect her to be so, hands-on to actually share what happened. I figured she would have wanted to keep that under wraps. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, she's very bold, Mina.
I don't know, I just keep thinking about this meme that I saw on Instagram today, if God sends an ex back into your life, he's just testing to see how stupid you are.
I saw that too. I saw that today.
I think that was trending.
Oh my god, I heard
Next
that.
season.
That's a
So-
great one.
I don't know if
True.
I agree, but
Then I'm really fucking
I don't
stupid.
know. Yeah, then I'm Forrest Gump. So.
I'm not smarter than a 5th grader. Chelsea, what did you think?
This was a really good episode. I think it's the
It
best
was.
out of the 3 that have been on so far, and I love all the relationship drama. And yeah, I agree. I don't think exes are. I don't know. I'm weird about exes. I feel like they're in your past for a reason.
Yep.
So I can understand where it gets sloppy with kids, but for the most part, no.
So you're not one of those stay friends with your exes.
No, and I hate that. My boyfriend is, and I'm just like, why?
Yeah, you can't. No.
Wait.
Yeah.
I think it depends on how it ended, though. No,
No,
But
no.
you had deep feelings for somebody. It's hard to compartmentalize those deep feelings, and
Yeah.
I think it's very, very difficult to be friends and to have a true friendship with an ex.
I think
there's always going to be a little bit of sexual tension.
Yeah, and I think the biggest difference, it's if it was your high school sweetheart or whatever, and we're in our late 20s, 30s now, it's okay, yeah, whatever. You're stupid when you're 16 years old, so there's no but no, when you're an adult and you're in love with somebody, I don't buy it. I don't like it. Not into it.
Not having it. Not
No
having it.
exes.
So we're gonna break down. So since a lot of exes came back, we'll break those down, and then we'll talk about Delia and Phoebe, because they had a little tension, and then we have a new segment that we're introducing this week called Token of Advice, and so we've each picked a character this week, and we're gonna give them a little token of advice, because a penny for our thoughts, and
we're super wise.
and we're super wise, and we're gonna give you all of our little nuggets of wisdom. So stay tuned. So let's get into it. Let's start with Mike and Colette. So Mike is Abby's current boyfriend, and he's working with Colette on a work project, a special event. Chelsea, do you think that this is too close to be we saw Abby was a little apprehensive last week, and now we see.
I do. It would be a little bit too close for comfort for me also, but I also think she has this pressure of trying to make her kids and his kids BFFs and stuff like that. Yeah. And Abby's personality is just so controlling and so hands-on to where it's a little bit overbearing at times. She's trying way too hard. So yeah, I think feeling she's kind of in this alone because he's always with his ex working is adding even more frustration. But yeah, I don't know. I have coworkers that work with their exes. They dated while they were there and work with their exes and are in new relationships or whatever. And they don't blur those lines of communication. But yeah, they just seem to like every time she texts, he'd be smiling, and I don't like that. It seemed too like fun. It didn't seem like work. I don't like it.
Yeah, I think they're too close for comfort. I
Completely.
mean, come on, you guys already have kids together. You were married previously. Now you're working together and chit chatting and just all the laughing and it's way too much.
Are they
and
supposed
I was
to hate each
uncomfortable.
other?
Not hate, but I just feel like
What?
he said with her, you know, and her ex with Jake. It's like you have to have those boundaries, and I feel like he just completely removes them. I feel like in working together, you kind of can't have as much of a boundary because we're at work. So us talking and all of that is kind of, you can't avoid that. But you know,
I mean, tell me you would not be bothered if your current boyfriend was texting with his ex-girlfriend and he's smiling and giggling at the dinner
Okay,
table.
obviously, like, I have human emotions. So, yeah.
She's not dead inside.
I'm not a droid, yeah. No, obviously, yeah, that would be so annoying, especially since I feel like I'm really funny and I want people to laugh at my jokes. So, like, I don't want competition in that realm.
I feel you.
So, but, like, here's the thing. Like, how do you go from being so close to someone, having kids with them, to being complete strangers? What I hate is when someone, like, I don't know, like, Gwyneth Paltrow and her hubby did it best, where it's, like, you can still be cordial with the
Conscious
person.
uncoupling.
And, yes.
Love it.
Where you can still be friends with your ex and, you know, be, like, civil. Be a civil person. Yes, I get it. Like, the laughing and it felt, like, borderline flirtatious for me. But... I mean, can there be, like, platonic laughing?
I think so, but I don't know. It feels like a little too fresh because they just, like, I feel like they also rushed into moving in together. So I think it's, like, trying to balance and juggle all these different emotions. And I don't think they should be hostile towards one another. I just think that, like, yeah, don't laugh at her jokes in front of me. Like, I don't like, she's not that funny.
No.
Like, don't do that.
Well, and we saw at the end of the episode that Colette kind of came in very aggressive towards Abby and was like, and even we saw in the previews that she said that this Abby's home, because she tried to excuse how crazy she got by showing up at work. And she said that this will never be her kid's home. So we can see that she's a little territorial. Does that indicate... Chelsea, do you think that indicates that she may still be interested in pursuing Mike?
I don't know if she's interested in pursuing Mike as much as she's interested in, like, being a mama bear and, like, saying, you're never going to replace me as a mother. Like, these are my kids. Like, back off. Like, I don't know if she's really interested in him. I think she's more so interested in especially because of the headphone or the microphone thing. Like, so I'm sure word got back to her that Abby, and she's like, okay, are you trying to, like, be the good guy here? Like, this is my daughter. So I think she's more interested in being, like, the mom, the alpha mom figure in the whole relationship.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I just feel like she's not interested in him, right? But I feel like once someone else shows interest, sometimes women get like, oh, well, did I make a mistake? Like, did I make a mistake by saying no? And then they become interested. And it's not because they're genuinely interested in the person. It's because they can't stand the idea of, like, losing.
Yeah.
Well, you
Like,
remember, like,
with
when you're a
competition.
kid and you're, like, playing with the doll and then you're, like, tired of it, but then, like, your friend plays with the doll and you're like, well, wait, I want the doll back.
Right.
That is, I mean, we never lose those instincts.
Yeah.
So.
That's literally a scene in Mean Girls, not to get too sidetracked, but Regina George goes, like, yeah, you know, my mom wanted to give my dollhouse away, and then Katie Heron goes, oh, so, like, you obviously gave it to her, right? And she's like, no, I, like, threw it down the stairs and crashed it so that no one smashed it so that no one else can have it. I'm like, I kind of get that. Like, you're demonic, but I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
If no one else can, if I can't have it, no one else can.
Yeah.
So does that open the door to say that, like, Colette might be interested in pursuing him again? I feel like
she just doesn't want, like her role to be replaced. I don't think she
That's
wants
fair.
him. She just doesn't. No one likes feeling like they're replaced.
Yeah. And I think it's like a territorial thing too. Like I was with this man for a long time, and now like there's a new woman in the picture, and obviously she's, you know, starting to have an opinion about my children and what they're doing, and now they're living together.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, you know,
That's
like
a
let
lot.
me come back in so I can clear the air, you know.
What did you guys think of Abby showing up to his job? Like,
Oh God.
okay.
Ah!
At first, I was like, okay, this is really cute. You just
Not
drop
at
off
all.
the basket, you
No.
say I love you, kisses, and bye. But then, like, she flipped it and went crazy. Like, her head totally
I see it, but I kind of like understand
Extra.
why she went a little crazy though, because you're looking at it from the outside and you just see them laughing all close in each other's face. So it's like, what is going on? Let me intervene. Let me just come
But
in
you
here.
never
Till this
fight-
moment, though.
You never fight in front of like
Right.
the
Yeah.
mystery.
Yeah,
like
She
the
wasn't thinking.
woman. Yeah, you don't do that. You take that somewhere else
No,
so that she doesn't
inflates
like,
her ego because she knows that she caused
that you're
that
bothered
friction.
by her and everything. Yeah.
No, I
you
knew
don't
the
do that.
second that she walked out of the dinner table so abruptly, I knew this was
She was
not going to
gonna-
end
Oh,
well. I was
yeah.
like,
She was
she's
upset.
this is it. She's
was
going
upset.
crazy. She's going in. She's going for the kill.
I totally
But I feel
would
like
have done
something was going on. Like
It
for
did.
them to be like, oh, we're just working. Like that's total
They
bullshit.
were way too close for comfort.
Yeah,
were.
like, and the fact that she was like embarrassed, it's like, no, you were right. Like, you were right. There was something going on. They're
Yeah.
just- I just think that, like, it's easy for Mike to be like, oh no, there's nothing, because he probably
Yeah.
genuinely thinks there's nothing.
Yeah, guys are so blind.
Yeah.
They're so dumb. Like,
They were
I
laughing
can't.
a little too hard. Let's just be
Yeah.
honest.
And
Nothing
like,
was
they're
that
all
funny.
Close and like,
Yeah.
like,
I-
eye
yeah.
contact.
I appreciate the writers kind of setting it up to like throw in the shocker of like the boss and the team walks out, but like it was a little too I don't know if cliche is the right word, but like to have the two of them
where
by
were they-
themselves at the table,
Why
you
were
know,
they the
nobody
only
else there, and then
two?
all of a sudden the rest of the team happens to like it was just a little too set up for me. Like I appreciate their wanting to throw a curveball at us, but I
No
was
pun
like,
intended. Baseball.
yeah. Okay, so we see Frump is back, and Joe is not. She's a little apprehensive herself about having him come back into her life, and then we see that she really kind of wants to be part of, or it seemed like she wanted to rebuild that family unit, and she kind of left Albert to the side. What did you think, Shamarri?
I actually, I kind of understand though too, because once again, these are people that were married prior, like they had a relationship, and obviously she really loves them. And I think when the person comes back and you see them, it kind of all comes back, and it's just natural just to like, let's link again, let's be a family again. And it was like totally unintentional to like ignore Albert, but it just kind of naturally happened. But I do think like she kind of misses Frump a little bit. Like obviously, it looked like she did.
I think she's addicted to the chaos, and she misses that.
Yeah.
Because, like, she was even disappointed that he wasn't sleeping on her couch.
Right.
And, like, who wants their alcoholic ex-husband who's, like, nothing but drama sleeping on their couch?
She definitely
She
still
just wants to be
cares.
needed. It's just like that feeling like you don't need me anymore. You don't need me, but I'm a caretaker. What? You have your shit together now? No.
Yeah. You know, I didn't like it because I actually like Albert, and
I like Albert, too.
the first scene of them together, when he was talking about giving her the tickets to the opera or whatever, and he was like very supportive of the whole Frumkus thing, and I was like, that's really cool. Like, I don't know of any man that would be like, yeah, bring in your ex-husband. I don't know if they're actually married, but coming in here from rehab, like blah blah blah. So it was a little bit hurtful and disheartening. Like it hurt for me to see her acting that way. But I mean, Frumkus looks like he is doing better than any other time that he was like clean. So I think that's also kind of appealing to her too.
Frump was like glowing.
Yeah, he looked kind of handsome.
He did. No, he did.
He looked rejuvenated. Yeah, so I think that's also kind of appealing to her. Like, oh, you're kind of clean. Like, I'm kind of into that.
Yeah, do you think she might have feelings developing soon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she knows, like, it's so weird. Sometimes we want what's bad for us, even though we have something great, like, right in front of our eyes.
Well,
it's like,
and
like,
yeah, and maybe she also has the little evil mother-in-law on her shoulder saying, like, my son's changed, take him back.
And like when you put so much effort and energy into one relationship and it keeps going wrong and there's finally hope, it's like, oh, maybe there's the light at the end of the tunnel. Like maybe it's gonna work out this time.
But wouldn't you think, and maybe this is just me, but wouldn't you think, like, oh, he's doing so well, without me. Maybe I was the piece that kind of turned his life, you know,
I
upside
wouldn't
down.
think
No,
that.
I don't think Joe's that self-aware.
I made it better.
You're better with me. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I would look at it as like, you're doing great. I'm going to make it even better for you if we get back together.
Yeah.
Like,
But I will say that it
only
did seem
up.
like Joe seemed like more, just, I don't know, she was like more outgoing, more happy and
Yeah.
playful when, you know, Frump came back around. So I did like that part. She just seemed so, you know, just free and just fun.
Herself.
and
Especially
whatever.
because she was so hesitant about the whole thing too. Like she
Yeah.
was not looking forward to it, and then it totally changed as soon as she realized like he had his act together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like Albert though.
I really like Albert.
And I like him for her, and I like Frump as like single dad. Let's go do
Yeah.
lucha libre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like Albert, and I liked his character development too, because he
Yes.
was not a very likable person a couple
Not at
seasons
all.
ago. And so I do like that now, like, oh, I'm cheering for you, and I'm cheering for this relationship, because when they first got together, I was like, why are you stupid? Don't do that.
Yeah.
But now he actually seems like he's genuinely interested in her and cares for her. And so, yeah, I don't want to see him get hurt and to go back to mean Albert messing with Delia.
Yeah, when he's hurt, he's very aggressive and
Yeah.
like wants to hurt. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. And so episode 1, we saw that Barbara may have slept with somebody, and we didn't know what was happening. She was breaking up with her boyfriend 'cause she was feeling really, really guilty. And now we find out that she was, Babs was banging her her ex-husband, and like, that's like all sorts of messy. That's messier than Colette and Frumkus.
I think it's the messiest of them all.
I think so,
Mirror,
too.
mirror on the
Well,
wall.
because first she lost her husband to her sister.
Yes.
Right.
And now, you know, she kind of not really want him back, but like she got him back for like a minute.
Oh, he wants her. Like
does.
that was
He
like,
likes having
what-
the tension between the two girls
Yeah.
over him.
I just
Very
don't even get that
ego-driven.
dynamic. Like when I don't know why I didn't process that was her sister, but I was like, ew, like like that in a weird way. It's like incestuous, even though it's not. I'm just like, that's disgusting. Like how
it
can
is.
you like go from? How can he go from sister to sister? Like that's
Right.
just
'Cause
like
it's like
Winter
macho.
dogs.
I got two.
Yeah.
I got the sisters.
I got them fighting
Yeah.
with one another.
Yeah, it's like when the guy
so-
likes the twin sisters and he wants both of them because he's just a slob kebab.
Yeah, but you know, like, you know, Barb also, you know, just kind of did it because out of spite, you know,
Yeah.
she was still hurt too from what happened and how everything played out. So I think she was just like, you know what, I want her to hurt too. And I think that was her main goal for doing it as well.
I think she was hurt, but I also think that she was bored in her relationship
Yeah.
with Daryl, and which sucks because I mean, like every relationship has its like really fun parts and its really like low parts, or you're just like you don't care anymore. You guys are always
Yeah.
in yoga pants together and you like don't look good. So it's like you can't. Not every time you're gonna be all up on these highs.
Right.
So it was very disappointing that she did that to him, but yeah, I think she should tell. I really liked how she was very open with the girls, and then I liked how she was very open with her sister when her sister confronted her with, you know, his lies.
I mean, the nerve of him to lie.
Oh,
Like that,
at the
though. Oh my
child's
God.
school, like to
So
say it at the
descriptive.
school. I'm like, you couldn't wait when you got home. Like, really, people?
But
like,
the lie you said didn't even make sense. Like,
No.
who does that?
And then she-
Like she just
what?
came on to him.
Like, what in the world?
you know,
Like, first of all, you're not that big of a prize, number
No,
one. And two, like, why?
But can you imagine if someone didn't have that like confrontational personality to like really address it to someone and come at them? They would think that was the truth.
Yeah.
So like it's great that she was like, oh, I'm gonna like address this because I'm not gonna let her get away
Let me
with
just run into the classroom
Yeah.
with all the children and address this head on. And she didn't even know that they
in
had
front of
cheated
the
yet.
sun,
She
yeah,
thought that she just came on to him.
Yeah, no.
Jerry.
Yeah,
Would
yeah,
you
really.
guys have told, like, what would you guys have done in Barb's situation?
I wouldn't have said anything.
No?
Nope. I would have taken that to the grave just because I think a lot of times when we do that, we're doing it because we want to help the other person or we want, you know, for them to kind of realize this person is like pretty much they're nothing, like, you know. And I think normally a lot of people, they end up staying in the relationship even after you kind of say that. And it's like, okay, so I just kind of told you this for pretty much no reason.
Yeah.
But I think it's more so a personal choice. Like I think Barb wanted to get that off of her chest and heal herself because she didn't want to live with that type of guilt and she didn't want them to be in a relationship thinking that everything was just great because that would just probably like bother her. So, but I personally probably would have just taking that to the grave.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I don't know
Yeah.
if I would be able to take it to the
No.
grave.
I don't know
But I
either.
also don't know if I'd be able to like admit it.
That
You
too.
know, like I wouldn't want to like ruin a relationship and be like, oh, I did this. So
Well, the relationship was ruined. Like her sister stole her
know.
man. Like
Yeah, that part too.
I
It's
mean,
just-
like, that's the thing. If I were her sister, I would have been expecting something like this. Our
That's what
whole
I was thinking.
relationship.
Yeah.
And
It's
she
like,
actually seemed surprised.
yeah,
It's
like, I never understand when someone's in a relationship with someone and it all started from them cheating on their spouse with them, or you get what I'm saying? So it's like, if that's how you met the person you're with, you kind of have to expect that might happen somewhere down the line with you. So if I were Barb, I don't know what I just feel like she was in such a tough space. I would have at least told Daryl, because I feel like he deserves to know if you're gonna
Right.
break up with him, like
Yeah.
at least tell him why.
right.
But yeah, I don't know if I would have. But then she still has to deal with him because he's the baby daddy.
I would have
Awkward.
done. I would have done exactly
Yeah.
what Barbara did. Like,
Yeah.
like no, you're not gonna lie about me and say that I came on to you when you slept with me and you're keeping the secret from your wife, and now she has the nerve to like come and confront me
Yeah.
in front of my kid. I'm like, no, here's the real truth. Like, I'm glad she did that. I'm like, go Barb.
And on top of it, he was still coming on to her.
No, he
like
was.
she, like
He still wanted to get back with her.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And she didn't even say that part.
Yeah.
She didn't even go into the fact that he still was trying to actually pursue
so
her,
hard
you know?
too.
So I
Like
feel
the
like
thirst was real.
Yeah.
And then Patricia wants to stay with him in the end.
yeah.
You see, it's so easy to judge, but
It
like,
is.
yeah,
It
like that's
is.
what I've had friends that go through the same thing, and like I judge, and then I'm like, wait, back up,
Before
Mina,
I
back
even-
up,
yep.
and then I have to be like, I cannot judge, like I'm not in their position, I don't know what
But-
it feels like,
But like, just putting the pieces together, like just putting it on the wall, like throw all the baloney, stick it on the wall, and break it down. She stole her sister's husband, and they were obviously fooling around, and he left her sister to go with her. So already we're on bad terms. Already we know he's sleazy because he not only cheated on her, but cheated on her with her sister, and now she's keeping him, and they're deciding to move forward with this relationship. Then he goes around and lies and says that she's coming on to him in the bathroom. So obviously he has a history of lying. So he's a liar, he's a cheater, he has no respect for family. Like, there's no redeeming and then we find out that he slept with the ex-wife that, again, it's just way too
It's
does her
incestuous.
sister, does Barb's sister have a right to be mad when she did the same thing?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I
See,
think
that's
that's
the
why she
thing.
stayed.
Like,
I mean,
because you think,
you know,
so you think
yeah.
it's because she was the one that broke up their marriage, so now she feels guilty.
what she
about
deserves,
it?
yeah.
I feel like she already knew this probably was coming, so she never planned to leave in the first place. Like, I feel like even if this would have happened years ago or even earlier, I think that she knew. She got him in a way that, you know, you get him how you lose him type of situation. I think that she already kind of like understood, like, it's possible to happen, and if it does, I'm still gonna stay with him. I think she just has low self-esteem.
I think it just makes it really hard for like the sisterhood of one another.
Yeah.
Yeah, like why
Like-
put a man before that? Like it
Yeah.
just doesn't make. Like, I just don't get how you could put a man before
No.
family.
Yeah.
I guess love.
Love.
and drama.
In quotes.
Love.
Very dramatic.
Very dramatic.
Yes, speaking of drama, okay? After Buzzers, here at the network, we produce after shows for nearly all your favorite TV shows, from dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more. There is no network that works harder to serve television fans. But now we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more or all of our YouTube channels. Besides helping us a ton, here's what's in it for you. It caters specific content you already like directly to you. It brings you your favorite after shows so you don't have to seek them out. And it suggests content from other channels or podcasts that might interest you. Subscribing to our YouTube channels will also help you discover new shows we're sure you'll love. Since you're already tuned into Drama Channel, you might be interested in The Bold Type, The Affair, or Love Is. And remember, we have channels for other genres too. Please don't be shy about subscribing to them either. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be. They're optional. It's easy. Hit that subscribe button now for an even easier AfterBuzz experience. And if you let us know that you did in the comments, we'll shout you out on air. Thanks for being the best fans, and we promise to continue to do our best to serve you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. Definitely want to subscribe. Don't want to miss anything.
And comment. We want to hear from
Oh,
you
yes.
guys.
Yes,
We love that.
please.
Okay, so moving on. We have a few characters that planned on moving on this week. Delia has decided that she wants to have a baby, and so now she found out that she's allergic to sperm, because apparently that's a thing.
I didn't know that.
Gluten,
Never-
sperm,
I've
like,
heard
you
of
know,
it.
Oh,
it's
you
the new
have?
trend.
I have, yeah.
Well, how was she allergic all of a sudden? Because she was pregnant before.
No, she wasn't.
I thought she didn't have.
She wasn't pregnant. She didn't have an abortion. She just thought she was pregnant.
But if you're allergic to it, does that mean you have to use condoms all the time?
Well, no, right?
I don't know. Like,
No, I don't think. I think she used the term allergic loosely,
Yeah.
and her body just
right.
rejects it.
Right,
Yeah.
No,
That she's not going to go into anaphylactic shock after sex. Like,
what
she's
she said
good.
was that
I took it literally.
her body kills the sperm. So yeah, they don't wait.
Yeah, she's
in
not.
the eggs,
She's not going to
right?
break out in hives. It's not going to look like herpes down there. She's set.
But I
Oh my God,
loved
I'm so
when
embarrassed.
she was telling the girls, and Joe was like, "You're allergic to meat popsicles." I was like, "Oh my God, that's the best line ever." But yeah, that has to be hard. IVF is difficult.
No, it is.
And painful.
It's painful.
I mean, not that I know, but from what I've seen and heard, like, it looks not pleasant.
Yeah, it would be hard for me to shoot myself in the side with the needle
And
too.
isn't it harder for you to get pregnant that way than naturally? Like,
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like she's older. The odds are already against her. So it's like, it sucks.
Like, she should have just stuck with her man, and they could have kept trying to have a
Yep.
baby. But I mean, I get it. She wants to do, like, independent, single mama. But, like, I liked her bae.
I liked him too.
yeah.
I thought he was really good for her, and like they were such a cute little like Angelino power couple.
Yeah.
Like loved it.
They had, like, the rah-rah charge, and they were going to save the community, and they were doing social work. She needs to give him a call again. That's
Yeah.
one ex I will allow
That you're,
her to call.
you're okay with.
I'm
it.
okay with that
I
one.
agree. He was a good guy.
And Phoebe's decided she's moving on. She's going out and dating again and putting herself, she's jumping back on the horse. Do you think she's going to find love again?
I hope so. I
Nah,
like Phoebe.
I'm just
No.
no.
She's done.
Use up all her luck. Yeah, I think so. Why not? Phoebe needs someone that's a free spirit like her, but also has a little bit more structure than she does. I think that would balance her out great. But
tame her.
she keeps going for like the not like underachieving, but yeah, she just doesn't go for anyone that's really challenging her in any like positive way. So hopefully she finds that. But I think she also needs to deal with her like home life too. Like I like seeing her with her kids more.
Yeah.
This season, which I think is nice. So I think I would like to see more of that Phoebe than like relationship Phoebe, because that's what we've gotten. Like
I like her dynamic with Tony.
yeah.
I really like seeing, I guess, like a more human side of her, because normally we see her being very free and very reckless and making, impulsive decisions, and now we see her having to be responsible and really be the mom and the provider, and now the support system for her brother, which I like. It's a different Phoebe.
But I kind of feel like she's like being his mom a little too much, and not just his sister. It's kind of just like overbearing a little bit, just because she's like intervening with Delia, and it's just kind of like he's a grown man. He still can make decisions.
making
And I don't
For-
feel
for
like
lost time.
she hasn't earned it.
Yeah,
Either.
like God,
like
you have to slowly get into that.
like you don't earn, like you can't just tell someone what to do. You have to like kind of like earn that, like, hey, this is coming from a place of like we've been through X, Y, and Z together. Like there was a huge gap of time, but
And he's
they weren't
already
together.
shown massive growth by taking and returning her car, and then by choosing to break their cycle and stay with the family and work on things. Like he's showing that he's taking steps, and he's trying to better himself and make this dynamic work. And I think I like seeing her mama Phoebe, but I think I agree with the guy. She needs to tone it down with him and allow him, like, he's a grown ass adult. Like he's good.
Let him live.
Right.
Let him live.
He needs to get on Tinder.
I know this is like a total side note, but every single person on this show is ridiculously good looking. Like, have you guys noticed? Like, even the kids, they're like beautiful.
No, yeah.
One,
Like,
it's casting,
it's so
and two, it's Los
crazy.
Angeles.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, is this representative of the LA population? Like, oh my god, like I want to look like
Rich
that when I'm
LA.
40.
Yeah. Rich LA for sure.
Do you think Phoebe was right telling Delia no? That she can't touch Tony?
I thought she was rude.
Yeah.
I didn't like when she
It was a
called her
little aggressive.
messy. I was like, that's
Complicated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or complicated. Like that's
Yeah.
your best friend. You're her, godmother of her unborn child. Like that's not nice. Like
Also, you know what I hate? I
Yeah.
hate it when someone goes, your ex negative thing, but you know what? I love you so much.
I'm
and
so
like,
proud of what
I'm
you're
so, and this and that.
doing,
Like, that's so condescending. Like,
Yeah.
get out of here. Like, don't like try to say something rude and then cover it up with a compliment.
Yeah.
Like, that's so inauthentic.
yeah. I
Hot
agree.
topic. Who made the first move? Like, who led who on?
I don't know, the way she
definitely
flipped
think-
up that dress.
Yeah,
it was pretty
She
inviting.
threw herself over the table and like flipped over her
Yeah,
dress.
Delia
She's
definitely.
just like,
Yeah, I
poke
felt
me.
Yeah.
She could have done that totally different.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
could have. She could have. She definitely let him off.
I love that scene though. And then in the slow motion, he comes up and he has the needle, and she's like, "Oh,
Right, the facial expression.
Yeah, she definitely did. It was Delia all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
and then
agree.
she's like, I think she just didn't want the responsibility of being the initiator. So that's why
Yeah.
she's like, oh no, we can't do it. If he initiated, I feel like she'd be like, oh, okay.
Do you
like,
think so? I feel like she kind of just thought about
Yeah.
Phoebe and her friendship,
I
and she
was
didn't
gonna
really
say,
want
it
to like
is-
go that far just yet, because she knows how Phoebe feels, and
I mean, it's
you
just
know.
kind of weird to hook up with your friend's sibling, right?
And in that
I
friend's
think it's
house.
kind of hot."
Yeah,
I mean, if
you
he's
think
hot,
you're
then
in-
I'm like, "Let's do it."
It's like, you know your brother's
Because
spirit.
it's
see
messy,
it. I see
and I'm
it.
just like, "Let's get messy."
Good thing they didn't though, because she came like 5 minutes later. So
I know,
that would
that
have
was
been really
really
awkward.
fun.
So yeah,
Oh
I
my
thought
god,
that was my prediction. I thought that was gonna happen.
She was gonna
I was
walk
like,
in
this
on
is
it,
gonna
yeah.
be so awkward.
It still was awkward.
Speaking of awkward, though, so Abby's trying to make this new family dynamic work, and obviously Mike's daughter's not having it, and like we're trying to. I mean, I guess she's doing the right thing by trying to create a household where everybody can get along, but I feel like Mike's daughter's a little resistant and like not wanting, or she's like give and take.
Yeah.
She's playing the
testy.
game.
She's very testy. I like her because she's sassy, but on the other hand, I'm just like, you know, Abby is really trying
Yeah.
hard,
She is.
and yeah, I don't typically like it, but I'm glad that Abby and Mike both understand that Simone is a little bit, you know, acting mean. Because if it was just Abby saying, you know, this is going on with you know Simone, blah blah blah, and Mike was like, oh no, she's fine. Like it would be way more difficult. So the fact that Mike is also understanding like that Simone is, you know, difficult, I think that helps. But I like that she came around later on and her true feelings kind of got revealed.
Yeah. I think she's gonna start to try to play Abby a little more.
You
Like,
think so?
yeah, the way she saw that like Abby was willing to kind of butt in and get the microphone, or at least
Yeah.
have the discussion, it shows that Abby like wants to impress her a bit, and I think Simone's
Gonna
as
use that
sassy
for
as she is, I think she's smarter than we.
Yeah.
I agree with
Exploit that, honey.
Yeah.
Get,
Yeah.
She's gonna do it.
That's how you gotta do it.
Kind of the
those
thing
headphones.
with like divorce, like parents, like when you have divorced parents, you kind of just try to work both sides. of them or
Yeah, that's what
whatever.
she's
Like,
gonna
yeah.
do. Now she has
It's
mom,
like,
she has Abby, and she has Mike.
we
She's
get,
got like,
you know, 2 Christmases.
yeah,
you know,
she's really gonna work it.
But see, now working Abby can then cause an issue between Abby and Mike, because then
Yeah.
Abby's, you know, clearly gonna be giving in,
Yeah.
and Mike's like, yo, what did I, you know, we didn't agree on
Yeah.
that, and so that's the only thing.
And
with
that might be why she does it. Like maybe us, you know, seeing Colette being really, you know, dominating about Abby and the family, maybe Simone kind of is going to team up with mom and kind of make things difficult for Mike and Abby in some type of way or whatever. But yeah, I like Simone. I hope it works out for them.
I agree. And on that note, I think we need to offer up a little token of advice. Some of these characters. Chelsea, do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, why not? I'm going to offer some advice to Joe.
Joe, okay.
I think Joe has a really good thing going with Albert. And I think she should really appreciate the fact that Frumpius has gotten his act together. And so far, it seems like he's gotten his act together. But I think she needs to tone it down and take a couple steps back and let him acclimate to Los Angeles again without her being so hands-on. And also take into effect that she is in a relationship with somebody else and that she doesn't need to drag him along to all these things. Like, I think Albert did a really nice thing by buying her those opera tickets. And I also think he did a really nice thing by making it seem like it was okay for them to tag along to the wrestling night. So I think she really needs to realize that she has someone that's really good to her, and not take advantage of it and not go back into that crazy, chaotic lifestyle that she's so accustomed to, because that doesn't bring out the best in her. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, my advice to Joe is just stay in your lane, girl, and stick with Albert.
I love it. Mina?
Yeah, I have advice for Phoebe. And, you know, as she's rebuilding her relationship with her brother, Tony, I just feel like she's taking on this role of like, oh, I know what's best for you. And it's kind of condescending. And it's like, okay, chill. Like, let him have his space. Like, he can make decisions. When you do that, it's setting him back, because he's going to ultimately feel like when he finds out that you're controlling things, that you don't trust him, that he has to be like dependent on you when he's trying so hard to be like independent, make his own decisions, make his own choices. If he wants to do something with her friend and it's like mutual and it's consensual, then I feel like he can do something with Delia. She shouldn't be upset about it. No. Like, well, she can be upset about it. She deserves to feel however she feels, but she shouldn't intervene. Like, it's not really her place unless it's happening in her house, in which case I kind of feel like, okay, guys, like,
gross.
do it somewhere else. Yeah. But I just feel like, and also she needs to learn how to deliver critique way better. Like, don't just come in with coffee and be like, hey, I brought you 2 lattes, and then be like, you're a mess, you're complicated, but I love you and you're great, and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, like, come on now.
Yeah.
I get where she was coming from, though. Her intentions were pure. I just feel like even if you have good intentions, you really need to craft how you say things to people, because words can be really hurtful.
Yeah. And watch your boundaries. She overstepped a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Shamarri, who you got advice for?
Abby, girl. You gotta trust. I think my advice for Abby is just really trust Mike. That's the only thing that you have in a relationship. And if you don't trust the person, of course, you're then going to actually do what you don't trust them to do, which is, not fornicate, cheat, or do whatever like that. That too. And I also feel that, she has to, like with the situation with showing up to his job, I personally probably would have done that too. But I think that she probably should have waited just a little bit longer. Like, really allow everything to develop and see the whole picture for what it was, and then go in if it got to that point. Because then you have, okay, I saw you kiss her. I saw you do it. He really didn't do anything. And he's not doing anything. It's all just assumption. And I just feel like maybe, or, and I get it. Like, it's his ex. They've been together for a long time. You're kind of like the new person. So you're like, they have feelings, they're working together. But you just have to like legit trust. So Abby, I say you need to just trust, girl.
I agree. I don't think Mike's gonna do anything bad. So it's just, we gotta trust.
He's a good guy.
No.
He's a good guy.
I think he is.
Okay.
Who do you have?
I have Delia. And my advice is to just lean in, girl. Go for it. Go all the way.
Sheryl Sandberg.
Go all the way. And just like embrace it. Like she's so uptight and like trying to control everything herself. And I mean, I guess last season and the season before she got a little messy with things with Albert and the wedding. But I just feel like you're complaining that you can't find a man and that love doesn't come to you and you can't jump into a relationship. It's like, well, you have one that's, you already ruined one, but now you have another one. Like, just go for it. Like, maybe you'll make a baby this way. I say, let it get messy. And then you can call a housekeeper. Yeah. And on that note, let's close things out with predictions.
Yay.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, I think in the coming weeks we're gonna see Colette a little more, and I think she's gonna make things really difficult for Abby, and we're gonna see some serious tension between the two of them.
Yeah.
You took my prediction. So now do you think of another?
I actually think that Delia and Tony are actually going to hook up. Somewhere down the line, they're definitely
He's gonna get her pregnant.
Oh, yeah. That part too. And I think it'll actually work out. Like, I think them together, because they're like complete opposites, I think it'll actually work out. And Phoebe might be upset at first, of course, but I think she'll actually agree with it too, because she'll see how Delia maybe is able to help Tony, and it works for both of them, So.
I mean, she'll help him like get it together.
Yeah, and it'll help her kind of calm down a little bit.
It's not settling, is it? Not to be like messed up, but like to go for someone when you have your stuff together, but they don't, and they're trying to get it together. Do you think that's settling at all?
I think if the person has a plan and a goal and they're trying to achieve something, I don't think it's settling. Because, we always weren't where we were at one point, and I would hate for someone not to date me because I didn't have what I have now, It's
okay.
Like, but if you don't have any plan, it's like, okay.
It's like the meme, if you can't take me at my worst, then you don't get me at my best.
That's right.
So I think that there's just going to be like a lot of friction with all the characters simultaneously, and I feel like it's just like all
on this show.
I just feel like they're going to be going through the same thing at the same time, where it's like the exes came back in this episode, and I feel like feelings are going to develop for those exes, and it's going to tear apart the relationships they already have, and there's going to be like some argument where they're like, oh, you still have feelings for this person, and they're like, no, I don't, but I do, but I don't. And then each of them are going to be like single the next episode, but then ultimately get back with...
And it'll work out in the end.
Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. I feel like that's going to happen with Abby, where there's going to be a lot of friction there because of Colette. and also because of the kids. And I also feel like that's going to happen with, who else? Joe.
Joe.
It's going to happen with Joe. And who else? I mean, I still think there's unresolved drama with Barbara. Yeah. Even though they had the talk and everything, I still feel something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So piggybacking, I think speaking of all of our exes and whatever, I think Barb's ex Daryl's gonna return. And I think she has to come clean with him because she already came clean with her sister and ex-husband. So I think that's gonna happen. But I don't necessarily think it's gonna be smooth sailing for them, but I do think that they are going to somehow end up back together. But yes, I do think Colette is going to make things very, very difficult for Mike and Abby, and I think she's going to use the kids to do that as like a way to manipulate the whole situation, which is sad because you never want to get kids in the middle of a divorce.
Or use
stuff.
them as a pawn.
Yeah.
I need Colette to find a man, okay?
Colette-
That's what she needs.
Colette
Faux show.
is cunning and she just needs to get laid. And I'm Zack Peter. I'm Zack Peter. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave comments. We want to engage with you. So go and let us know what you thought of this week's episode. And you can also follow me at Just Plain Zack.
And you can follow me at Shamarri Hartzog.
Hey guys, I'm Mina. You can follow me on Instagram at Mina Makes Magic, and you can also tune into The Proposal every Monday night and watch our after show at 9 p.m.
Hey guys, Chelsea Sark Jones. Yeah, tune into my after show that I'm also on, Real Housewives of New York, every Wednesdays at 10 p.m. And you can also follow me on Instagram at C_S Jones and everything else I'm doing at ChelseaSarkJones.com.
Holla.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.